In this lesson, we will cover one of my favorite piano techniques because it's one of the ones that sound very impressive and difficult, but is actually super easy to execute. Split hand runs are everywhere in the classical repertoire, and here I'll give you one very famous example, and this is Gershwin, Rhapsody in Blue, of course. This is a split hand run. And again, in a different key. All right, so this is basically a split hand run, one of the more basic ones. It's just an arpeggio. So you'll see it's C major in the first one with a chromatic under. So 2 notes in the left hand, 3 notes in the right hand, and it goes through every inversion, right? So very slowly. And then he does it in A major. There's also examples from Debussy. So that may sound complex or difficult, but it's actually one of the easier things to execute once you get that together. They are great to use when you're improvising and when you're arranging for the piano, and they can be utilized either as a texture or as a main element if you're writing something like an etude or some sort of technical work. But they can also be used, and this is where I usually use them the most, as connective tissue, sort of similarly to how Gershwin utilized them here in Rhapsody in Blue. In this lesson, my goal is to give you some of my own go-to split hand runs and to walk you through how I use them and also offer you some suggestions on how you can craft your own split hand runs and when you can utilize them. 5 split hand runs and concepts. So the very first example that we're going to dive into is one of my favorite runs to sort of warm up with or practice, and it is this one. In the left hand, C, D. So in the left hand, the right hand is. So together, okay? So you can just sort of do this up and down, starting slow and slowly increasing your speed. And then you can sort of start taking it different places with changing the harmony or changing the bass in the left hand. So something like this. Different keys. So you can take it around all different keys and try different patterns and different chord changes and see what that sounds like and what that feels like. So just let yourself kind of get into this and explore this at different speeds and see where it takes you. It's a fun improvisation exercise. The next one I'd like to show you is one of my favorite ones to use in a more typical jazz setting, I guess, and it's this. So, okay, another one that sounds very difficult to execute, but is actually very simple and very easy to do. So the way I do this one, and I guess you could call this, when it's on a B flat bass, I guess you can call it a B flat 7, flat 9, 13, or something like that, right? So it's, you have A flat, B flat, and then B, D, E, G. And then you just repeat that on every octave. So you can go up and you can go down. You can repeat each octave twice, like something like that, right? And what's cool about this one is it's sort of based on a diminished shape, which means it can really work on 4 different bass notes, right? If you do it on G, for example, if you have a G chord, it can work here as well, the same shape. And if you're doing it on an E dominant, that can work as well, or on a D flat. So it gives a different type of tension, because on D flat, for example, it's a very sharp 11 sound. So it brings out different color in each of those, but it fits over all four. So this is one of those shapes. And of course, you could do it in a different key. For example, if you want to do it over E flat, so E flat, 7, flat 9, 13 would just look like this. Same pattern, just starting from a different note. So this time you have D flat, E flat, E. One more time, D flat, E flat, E, G, A, C, and so on. Right? So you're doing. And it also, just like the other one, can work over other chords as you split the octave into the diminished. So should theoretically work over F sharp as well, the same thing. Sounds nice, very lush. Over an A dominant should work as well. Okay, so that's another one. So we had this one, and now I can show you this one, just a half step lower for D. So that's nice. Take a moment and try to see this exact shape and how it looks like and how it feels to play it in different keys. It's definitely one that I love using and utilize a lot. So to circle back to the Gershwin example that I gave earlier, one of my favorite ways to use this technique when I'm improvising or when I'm arranging or writing my own music is to really take, a triad chord that's simple and straightforward. So just like we saw Gershwin do in Rhapsody in Blue, instead of doing just a simple C major and A major triad, like, and what he does is add a chromatic approach note from the bottom as he approaches it, and then gives a whole other dimension and flair to the arpeggio. And the way that I implemented this in one of my own compositions called Stride Etude was in the coda. I wanted to create this ending that goes from B flat to G flat, right? But instead of just doing simple triads, I did the exact same thing. So this is what it sounded like. And to break that down, basically, it's the same thing as Gershwin, right? So I'm doing a chromatic into B flat with another chromatic. So there's two chromatics here. And the second one, another chromatic, another chromatic. Right? When you speed it up, it really starts sounding more interesting, I think, than just playing straight up triads. Another example from the same piece that I can give you for a split hand run is more pentatonic, and that's also a fun one to utilize. So there's a section that goes something like that, right? So the pattern here is outlining G major, and then having a split hand run based on pentatonic scale. So and faster. That leads us to the next one. So if you want to check this out and explore it a bit more, I've included the PDF for this piece in the description of the lesson. But basically, yes, pentatonics is another thing to utilize when I'm doing split runs. So another piece that I perform quite often is my arrangement of a Michael Jackson medley of his songs. And the way that that starts is actually with a split hand run. It goes like this, right off the bat. Okay, so that's another classic thing that sounds complicated when you're first taking it in. You're like, what? How are they getting that many notes in one run? But it's actually very simple when you really look into it. It's chromatic in the left hand, and then augmented in the right hand. So by itself, very easy to do. With a little practice, as we've done in the chromatic module of this course, this is not hard to do by itself, but when you put it together, sounds very complicated, right? So, and then it's the same thing, just a major third up, because we're doing augmented, so we're splitting the octave into 3, right? So, okay, so that's another example of a run like that. So now let's chat through the assignment that I'd like you to do for this lesson. So I want you to think of 2 different applications where you could practice and utilize these split hand runs. Now this could be as an intro or an outro to something, like if you're doing a jazz tune and you're doing 2/5, for example, right? This could be, you could be coming up with just different ways to play through a tune, or improvising, just splitting up the hands and creating your own little runs and ways to get from one chord to the next, like add chromatics. Just play around with it. See what it, don't be judgmental. I just let my hands run, right? That's part of it. And then try to infuse, some chromatic language in there together with different shapes in the right hand. So I'm just gonna attempt, let's say I'm doing something with like a more open shape, and I'm gonna add some chromatic to that. So let's just see what that sounds like. Something, I don't even know what I'm doing right now, but. So this could be some sort of unplanned intro that you come up with, where you just sit at the piano and just start combining smaller, chromatic things in the left hand or in the right hand, and then more open shapes together with it. So. Bonus run that I'll give you here. This I do too sometimes on endings, and it's basically you're playing the tonic, which is in this case C major, and then you're breaking on top of it the dominant, which is the G major, and the dominant of the dominant, which is G major, right? So it's G major, D major, G major, D major, down the keyboard, with the added ninth each time. So basically it's 3 5 3 2 1 of G, 3 5 3 2 1 of D, 3 5 3 2 1 of G, etc. Down. So this is one of my favorite ones to sort of end with or just play whenever. Sort of accentuates, in this case, the Lydian flavor, because it showcases the G and the D over C. So. Split hand run. All right, so this is your assignment. I want you to just sit and really try to play with this, find different shapes. Don't be afraid to explore and be dissonant, see what comes up, this is really your assignment. Don't be afraid to try different things out. Just start slowly, try out different shapes, maybe more open shape, like fourths, for example. There's no wrong notes here. You can really try whatever you want. Combine it with the ones I've shown you. You know, different like. Try different things, see what happens. I will say though, as a word of caution, so while these are very exciting and fun to play, I suggest using them sparingly when you're arranging or creating your own compositions, unless you're being deliberate and creating something that's technical or a work of some kind. So I trust you to really use your taste and your discretion with this so that you don't do too many, because that could start getting a little bit out of hand. All right, so I hope you take on this assignment. Happy practicing, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we will cover some hand crossing techniques. I'll see you there.